With this experiment, we are going to see if we can answer the question, is heat energy the same thing as temperature? Who of you think it might be the same? Maybe that is your first guess, but this experiment will show you that it's not. What are we going to do? We are going to use 2 cups. One cup is filled with a little bit of water and ice cubes. We call that icy water. And a big cup where which we fill with hot water. And after we have determined the starting temperature of both cups, we will put them together like this. And then we continue measuring the temperature with a thermometer. And of course, icy water will show a very low temperature, near to 0 degrees Celsius, and the hot water, when it comes from a water boiler, will show a high temperature, which is near to 100 degrees Celsius. Now, when you put them together, there will be a flow of energy going from the hot water to the icy water. So that is a flow of thermal energy. And that will influence the temperature of the water, of the icy water, but also the hot water. So what are we going to do is we are going to measure the temperature of the icy water and the hot water for 10 minutes. It's handy in this case to create a table like this, where you record the time, or where you pre-print the time like this, and where you can record the temperature of the icy water and the temperature of the hot water. Okay, so here we are going to do the experiment. Let's see how it goes. So first of all, I've got hot water here in my water boiler, and I've put some water in the little cup and a couple of ice cubes like this. And what will happen is that this temperature of the water will go towards 0 degrees Celsius. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure the temperature of the icy water, and I'm going to put in hot water in the big cup, and we're going to measure the temperature of the hot water. And ooh, you see how quickly the temperature rises of the thermometer when you put it in the hot water. That's always lovely to see. And I'll reach about 80 degrees, a little bit more, 83 degrees Celsius. And it cools down, of course, because there is a lot of vapor, so it cools down of its own, of course. But the starting temperature of the hot water is 83 degrees Celsius. So just put down 83, and the starting temperature of the icy water is what I measure with this thermometer. Let's do a little bit. It goes down a little bit. 4 degrees Celsius. So we write down 4 degrees. Okay, so now I'm going to put the cups together. Ooh. There we go. And we're going to start the stopwatch so that we can keep track of time. Okay, and what you see happening now is that the temperature of the icy water is rising, and the temperature of the hot water is dropping. And that, of course, is what you probably already expected. Now, 10 minutes is quite a long time, so let's speed up the process a little bit, okay? Okay, 2 minutes. What I measure is that icy water is 20 degrees and the hot water has dropped to 54 degrees Celsius. 4 minutes, what we measure is icy water 32 and the hot water 45. And now at 6 minutes, what we'll see is that the icy water has a temperature of 39 degrees Celsius and the hot water 42 degrees Celsius. At 8 minutes, what we'll see now is that the icy water has a temperature of 40 degrees Celsius, but the hot water also has a temperature of 40 degrees Celsius. So now there is no difference in temperature anymore, so there will be no heat transfer from the hot water towards the icy water, because for a heat transfer you need a temperature difference. There will be only heat transfer when there is a temperature difference, but that's something I'm going to explain in another lesson. Okay, so it's rather easy to predict what temperature we're going to measure at 10 minutes. We're almost there. Let's see. And also at 10 minutes you see that the temperature is still 2 times 40 degrees Celsius. This is the result of the experiment. Important conclusion you can draw from this experiment is that the heat energy is not exactly the same as temperature. What happened was that heat energy flowed from the hot water to the icy water. And the effect was that the temperature of the hot water dropped and the temperature of the icy water raised. With this, you can answer the questions of the further research, which you can find in your digital reader.